Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And something funny happened this weekend.
Yeah, no, I had a good laugh.
Geeky had a good laugh. Yeah, I was not aware, because this actually predates us covering this kind of news on the channel, that Ironheart was actually a Japanese porno, a parody of Iron Man before Marvel decided to do Ironheart in the comics.
And apparently when Ironheart the comic came out, it was brought up by several news outlets then, and we completely missed it. And then somebody posted it on the one Clownfish group that is on Facebook that I happened to see. And I was like, wait, what? And I looked into it, I thought, no, surely this can't be true. They must be joking. No. It turns out that, yes, it does exist.
When it comes to Disney.
When it comes to
Disney, you can never tell if they're joking or not. So we're gonna talk about this unfortunate coincidence, which might not be a coincidence. In fact, the one article talking about, they're like, hey, maybe Joe Quesada should wipe his internet history because it does predate the introduction of Riri Williams into the Marvel Comics universe by a couple of years. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 240,000 subs.
Woo!
Thank you for the support. We do talk about Disney a lot. We talk about Marvel, we talk about comic books, and we don't talk enough about Japanese porn.
Right, yeah, because we don't watch it, so we didn't know it existed.
We didn't know. We didn't know, but now we do. So yeah, did Marvel get Ironheart name from an Iron Man porn parody? It's really interesting. Now, this isn't the first controversy in the last month even that, companies have found themselves with characters named after pornos. In fact, Blizzard is renaming Jesse McCree to the name of an adult film star, Cole Cassidy. Or Cassidy Cole, yeah. Which is funny. It's not, well, yeah, it is funny. Because the reason they're renaming McCree is because the actual real life McCree, the developer McCree, was one of the guys in the Cosby Suite. So they're like, well, let's not have any sexual connotations about this character. Let's name him the same thing as a porn actress.
We'll just kind of reverse. We'll reverse them and no one will ever know. Because, when you search Google, that'll never come up.
Yeah, and it does, of course. And apparently this was a thing. Yeah, and the reason it's coming up now is because Disney is announcing that they're going to bring Ironheart to Disney Plus because literally nobody asked for it, but there it is.
Let's go back. So 2016, Marvel at the time, Marvel decided that we need to hand the mantle down to characters that aren't problematic men, especially problematic white men. So they basically went around and made brand new characters, which I'll give them that. They're new characters that are like gender or race diverse compared to the original character and handed them the mantle. Hence Riri Williams, who's a 15-year-old black woman, girl, actually, which is even worse when you think about this. and that was 2016. Well, the movie with the Japanese movie, The Asian Woman, was in 2014.
Yeah.
And a simple Google search would have shown it. Now you search just Ironheart, you get all the Marvel stuff. But if you type in Ironheart Japan, you get exactly what you think you're going to get. So back then, if they typed in Ironheart in Google, they would have got exactly what they're going to get if they search Ironheart Japan. So I don't see how you could not know.
Yeah, and we thought maybe this is for trademark reasons. Maybe Disney's like, oh crap, let's trademark that name so they can't make pornos, but it turns out that they didn't even file. You said they didn't even file the trademark.
They didn't file it to May 24th, 2017. It was published for opposition October 3rd, 2017. It actually wasn't registered until 2019, which means to me that there's something went wrong there in the middle.
Yeah.
But, they did it after they had the comic out. So actually, I checked this because when you file a trademark, you're supposed to acknowledge that you don't know anybody else is using that trademark. And the lawyers involved usually look up the name to make sure that no one else is using that trademark or to see who had it first.
Yeah.
In this case, it would have predated Marvel's Ironheart that was published by like a couple of years.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure they were well aware of it.
And then the costume even. You look at the costume, go back up.
Yeah,
I found a picture. Yeah, like you said about the mask. Look at the mask and how it's the indent. And she has the blue thing on her chest, as does this one. Now remember, she came out 2 years before they even designed this one. Right? There's no way that they happen to know in Japan and copied it, You have like, can I say this for a second? I'm taking the wheel. You have like here, like there's these gold things right here. Here, it's on her legs here. You know, it's just under the boobs.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird, you know. But you know, speaking of controversy around Riri Williams, I know there was controversy about her being too sexualized. You know, Twitter had a fit because J. Scott Campbell, you know, the guy who got in trouble for making MJ too sexy on a Spider-Man cover. Well, he was in trouble for making Riri Williams too sexy, and Twitter had a fit. And it's like, at the time, it was already out there that Ironheart was a porno character.
Yeah, the media knew it immediately. We just didn't because we were slow. I mean, a lot of you guys are probably like, yeah, we already know. I'm laughing. I just covered this because I think it's funny as hell. I'm like,
yeah, it is.
Most people don't know this, you know.
Well,
it doesn't really make a difference at this point, but you'd think they would have picked another name when they found out. Yeah,
you know, God. You know, it's so funny. We talk about, you know, the all new, all different Marvel now, you know, this diversity and inclusion push they had like 5 years ago that landed with a thud, and Marvel Comics wound up in such a bad place in 2017 that they fired their editor-in-chief, you know, because it was such a great idea. But, you know, throughout that whole conversation, nobody even once mentioned that I saw that there was a porno named Ironheart. Yeah, as you pointed out in this article from Fortress of Solitude, you know, Joe Quesada would have been very aware.
Oh yeah, they actually in my article, if you go over here to the one I had done, I found it from another place at Fusion TV, and they said they claimed the creators used Ironheart as a name because Iron Woman seems stuffy, and Iron Maiden would probably come with a bevy of legal woes.
Yeah.
So they thought Ironheart, Bendis explained, spoke to the connection that Riri would have both the Iron Man legacy and franchise.
Okay, well, her defining feature is that she's super smart, so why not Iron Brains?
I don't know, but they couldn't use Iron Maiden because, you know... Yeah. Well, then there's the band, you know, the band too.
Yeah. You can't use Iron Tits because that's also
right.
Yeah.
You could have called it Tin Tits, but that wouldn't have been...
Oh my God, yes!
I'm just like...
Yes, Tin Tits!
Called it Titties for short. TTs or something, tatas.
Well, no, because then the Tintin people would sue.
That's probably true.
They would.
So anyway, but what gets me is, okay, when they name this character after this porn version, and they're going on about, you know, how they're sexualizing Riri Williams. Here's the thing. In the film, apparently, according to the write-up, I have not seen it.
You haven't?
No.
And then how can you talk about it? You need to go watch it now so you can talk about it. She was captured by villains. And like, you know what villains do? She was assaulted multiple times, in this movie by the villains. You know, they sexually assaulted her. So Disney thought and Marvel thought, let's name a character after this character and we'll make her 15 years old and a black woman. We'll tie it to a character that was sexually assaulted in a parody porn film. Yeah, this actually came up, on the Fusion TV, that they're like, this is literally, like, the worst. Like, why would you...
It is possible, guys, that it was a coincidence. It is possible. Do I think it was that they didn't know? I don't see how they couldn't know, because at the time when they would be using the name, they would have had to have searched it on Google. And since they didn't have it in the Marvel world at that point, what would come up would have been the Ironheart from the Japanese porn films. And usually the first thing you do when you want to use a name is you search it to make sure that it's not going to have a conflict of interest.
Well, this writer is, I think it's Charles Pulliam Moore, who writes for Gizmodo now. But he actually was even like, they didn't even do a basic Google search. This is Disney. This is Marvel. They know everything.
And I have a kid now. You get a kid?
Yeah.
Well, like, oh, I love this character. I'm going to go search Ironheart. You know, the Save Search isn't on. What's going to come up on their search?
At least they call her Iron Gina.
Well, they can't. I mean, that would have been the original, not
that's
the new version.
They could.
Why would they have called her Iron Gina in the Marvel universe?
She takes a lick in, her iron heart keeps on ticking. They're
they're aiming for her heart. But anyway,
they should make them change the name. You need to rename this movie Iron Gina. And,
no, we don't.
Let us have Ironheart.
No, they can't do that. I don't think they can do that. Plus, it's another country, so there
are no rules.
They're not going to be allowed to do that. But you know, even if trademark it here, you can argue, yeah, because it was another country. That's true. But it still would have shown up they still would have known, is my point. I don't think the trademark would have been an issue, but they still would have had to search it. They still would have found that it existed and it was tied to a porn film. And if they didn't know, back in 2016, the media let them know. And not only did they not change it, now they have a show coming to Disney Plus, and they're like, yay, Ironheart. But if a kid goes and Googles Ironheart, what are they going to find?
Yeah.
There are photos, I can tell you for a fact, because I had to Google it for this article. And yes, you will find all kinds of pictures that you wish you hadn't seen. Well, some of you probably would like to see, but I wish I hadn't seen.
All these years, and I didn't know this existed. That's because I'm not Googling Ironheart because nobody cares.
Apparently, there's a whole franchise of
Ironheart.
Well, no, using these Marvel or DC
that's
superhero
normal.
parody.
It's not, I mean, it's not normal, but it's.
I was like, who knew? I mean, obviously I didn't, but I'm sure a lot of people do.
They had Batwoman movies. I guess that the costume actually looked better in the porno.
Oh, that's right. I don't think you remember. I remember you saying.
Yeah,
that.
it's like,
okay,
wait,
so I did know that.
Her costume looks better than the official costume. Like, how did this happen?
And it probably didn't stay on long.
No, Captain Marvel. They had Captain Marvel, and what was the other one they had? But people were pointing out the costume actually looked better, and she looked more like the original Carol Danvers than the official version.
But I'm sure it wasn't called Captain Marvel. See, the difference is here they used the name Ironheart first.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just think it's funny. As
family
a Disney
friendly
person, yes. I'm like, why isn't Disney changing this name?
They said the suggestion came from Joe Quesada, who's probably clearing his browser history right now. It seems that Ironheart is already a porn parody, and nobody knew.
There's no way. There's no way that someone didn't know.
It's gonna come up again. Yeah, like even the mask looks very similar to her mask in the comics.
Beyond that, even for the trademark, and damn well Disney and Marvel will be on that trademark. They didn't even get on it until 2017 after the fact. And when you submit that, they would have had to have known. There's no way they didn't know because you have to search that to verify.
And Disney, they've got like mobs of lawyers searching everything. There's no way they didn't know. They probably thought it would just disappear down the memory hole. Now that...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was a poor choice of words.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, they probably just didn't think it would be an issue because they're like, oh, this character's never going to be in a movie. This is just a comic book thing. And it's like, oh, crap, we're making a Disney Plus series now. Everybody's going to be Googling this character.
Right. And they're going to have kids. Minors going to Google this character. What are they going to ogle? They're going to ogle something on Google. So what's Disney going to do? Go tell Google they have to take everything down related to... Oh,
they would. Hey, what do you think triggered the adpocalypse? It was Disney... freaking out.
Disney's telling everybody that they can't run certain things because they have a brand to protect and a name to uphold, and they can't be associated with terrible things in porn and stuff like that. And then they go and use the Ironheart name?
Yeah, the Elsa and Spider-Man kids videos, which were freaking weird. It triggered one of several adpocalypses, and then the other one was them not realizing that PewDiePie did edgy content.
Right.
And he was part of Disney-owned Maker Studios at the time. But yeah, let's use a porn character, for our next Disney Plus show.
And a costume that looks kind of similar, so somebody knew somewhere.
It's so funny. That's so Disney.
Yeah, that's what we're covering it. It's old news, but we just found out, and it's hilarious. And it's Sunday, and we're bored, so we thought we'd do something more fun.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than porn.
I guess.
On a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
we're going to wrap it up.
Stop talking.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.